So we're on the subject of the motion that Mr. Perkins has brought forward yet again to this committee. It is a motion that is almost identical to the motion that was brought previously to this committee. It was voted down by this committee, and it's also a motion. It is also a motion that is before the Indu committee, and so this is. We're here basically taking up time, as I see it, from important studies that we should be discussing here today. Whether it is red tape reduction, which is absolutely critical to support our small businesses and to support Canadians, whether it's diversity in procurement. Unfortunately, here we are discussing a motion that, again, is recycled, and it is almost identical to the motion that was brought before us and voted down just a few days ago. But here we are. You had 11.2% unemployment, 11.2% unemployment, and close to 30% unemployment for young people.
Point of order, Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Jennis.
Thank you, Chair. The member is obviously repeating himself, but I would also just say if he said this has been before the committee before and it was defeated, if this member is so confident that he has the votes on this, why doesn't he let it go to a vote? It's odd that he is claiming on the one hand that the majority of the committee doesn't want this motion, but on the other hand, he's filibustering to prevent it from going to a vote. If he thinks he has the votes, then he should stop repeating himself and let the committee proceed to make its determination on this matter one way or the other.
Thank you. He's half right, Mr. Kuzmierczak. You are starting to repeat yourself again.
Sure.
But if we could get back to the motion, please.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and I appreciate your what you've just said, Mr. Chair. And again, I think it's important for us, as we're picking up this thread of this debate, to provide a little bit of context and the path that got us here. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And so I wanted to add what I wanted to say as well, too, is all the investments that I've just outlined that this Liberal government's been able to deliver in the last 4 years. And so that's where we're at. And it's important to note, Mr. Perkins wants us to listen to him. He's again trying to bring forward this motion forward, which is almost again quintessentially the same motion that we saw last week. and yet Mr. Perkins wants us to listen to him, but I'd prefer to listen to the CB.
I have not had the floor in quite a while, and Mr. MP Kuzmierczak's been speaking now for, I think, the two meetings over 2 hours in filibustering. So it's, I think, Mr. Kuzmierczak that wants the committee to hear from him.
Continue, Mr. Kuzmierczak.
This issue, I do want to speak on this issue, and I will take this opportunity to speak on this issue because it impacts my community greatly, because of the fact that we do have a battery plant in my community, because we have a battery plant has created 2,000 jobs for local workers in my community, and because that battery plant will create an additional 2,500 jobs permanently for workers in my community, local Canadian workers in my community. And so it is important for me to talk about this. And again, Mr. Perkins is persistent in bringing back this motion that has been voted down in the past, and so I will be persistent in what I want to say as well too.
Go ahead on a point of order, Mr. Perkins.
The rules around filibustering, so the MP Kuzmierczak doesn't seem to understand, is no repetition. It actually takes quite a talent to do that, which clearly this MP doesn't have, because that's about the 5th time, and twice already. He's already said that in 15 minutes today. So I'd ask the chair to keep him on relevance and stop repeating himself.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Perkins. And Mr. Kuzmierczak, despite some of the sorry, Mr. Drouin. I have the floor, please.
Oh, sorry, Chair. I
Thanks.
apologize.
Mr. Kuzmirchuk, Ms. Perkins is right on the repetition part. If you are going to continue, we do have to follow that. We do give, obviously, very wide breadth for the debate, but the repetition is one that we're trying to avoid. I think, Ms. Atwin, you had point of order. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I think it's inappropriate to have made the comment that Mr. Perkins did regarding a lack of talent of the member. I don't think we need to delve into personal attacks like that. So if we could just get back to what we're trying to achieve, that would be great.
On the same point of order, Chair.
That is, Mr. Generous, are you serious?
Thank you, Chair. I don't think it's unparliamentary to say that a person lacks a specific talent. If Mr. Perkins said I lack talent in baking or singing, I wouldn't consider that an attack. I would consider that accurate.
I think,
It just
thanks
seems...
very much. Everyone's point is taken. Mr. Kuzmirchuk, you have the floor, but if we could watch the repetition, please.
Thank you, Chair, and I appreciate, again, your words, and I just wanted to reassure you that I am just about to conclude here. So in the next moment or two, I will be more than happy to yield the floor. I did want to say that I would never impugn or disrespect someone by commenting, making a snide remark about somebody's a committee member's character or talent or skills. I think that is below the belt. Of course, I am happy to talk about the lack of the Conservatives, their inability to create jobs when they were in power 8 years ago, which is, again, that's not me saying that. That's their track record that speaks volumes. So I'd rather have their track record speak, and I'm going to refrain from making comments about their skill level or talent level or their character. But what I did want to say is that, again, going back to my original point, Mr. Perkins keeps bringing this motion forward. It keeps getting defeated here, and it's a motion he wants us to listen to Mr. Perkins and his motion. But I'd rather listen to the CBTU. I'd rather listen to the CBTU, which sent a letter to this committee last week stating that they do not want to see this motion move forward. They were very explicitly clear about that. I'd rather listen to Mr. Sean Strickland. I'd rather listen to the CBTU, who said they don't want this to proceed forward. I'd rather listen to the APMA, Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association, who says they do not want to see this motion move forward because they see it as a risk to the investments that were already made. I'd prefer to listen to the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, who again signed a letter stating very clearly that this will do irreparable harm to Canada's ability to attract additional investments. This is the letter that they had circulated again to the entire committee. This is a letter that was signed. I'd rather again listen to not only the APMA and the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. I'd rather listen to the Canadian manufacturers and exporters that again said explicitly that, and I will quote here, the committee risks doing irreparable harm to Canada's investment attraction negotiating position. So I'd rather listen to them, and I'd rather listen to the Canadian Vehicle Manufacturers Association that includes companies like Stellantis in my neighborhood, and also the Global Automakers of Canada. These are the folks that are saying they don't want to see this motion move forward. Lana Payne, the Unifor president, the largest union in Canada, is saying they don't want to see this motion go forward. And the president at the time of local Unifor 444, this is Dave Cassidy. This is the union that represents thousands of auto workers in my community. They will be representing the battery folks that will be building the batteries in my community. And again, Mr. Cassidy was absolutely clear and explicit in saying he doesn't want to see this motion move forward. And this is what he said when he was up in Ottawa meeting with Prime Minister Trudeau.
Point of order.
President Cassidy said,
Sorry,
and I quote,
Mr. Kuzmirchuk, we have a point of order. Go ahead, Mr. Perkins.
This motion was moved long after the union leader he's referencing actually left his job, so he didn't comment on this. So I would ask that the member at least speak to accuracy when he's doing this.
Continue, Mr. Kuzmirchuk.
So I just want to state this is what Dave Cassidy, the president of Unifor at the time, Unifor Local 444, representing auto workers in my community, said. when he met the Prime Minister of Canada in Ottawa, he said, "My message is simple. This has turned into nothing but political hay," is what he was talking about in terms of the Conservative motion, trying to undermine the investment in the Stellantis battery plant, trying to create hay about this. And he goes on to say, we have to make sure all the theatrics and all the political stuff is gone. And so he was very clear about that. He was also very clear. He did say, if it was up to the Conservatives, we would not have this investment in Windsor today. They look at it as corporate welfare instead of a return on an investment for all the workers that will be there. And so this is again straight from the president representing the workers in Windsor, and is absolutely clear why we need to vote on this motion and send it back to the and so this is really important. And again, like I said, I'd rather listen to CBTU, APMA. I'd rather listen to the Chamber of Commerce. I'd rather listen to Unifor, and I certainly would rather listen to Unifor Local 444 that represents all the auto workers in my community. That's all I have to say at this time, and looking forward to listening to the opinions and the insights of my committee members from on both sides. Thank you.